Last time on LaRPing.
I'm the LazyLarper.
You are not the LazyLarper. You are Tobias.
And what happens now?
What? Well, I really need to stop passing out like this. Character sheet for Tobias. Oh yeah, that's right. There's this woman. She gave me a character sheet, but she gave me this when everybody started calling me Tobias. Wait, who's there?
Welcome to this Halloween episode of LaRPing. Halloween is over? I don't want to do this shit. Hello there, and welcome to LaRPing. Today's episode is going to be Character 101 on how to make your character, developing it, what to think about, all that stuff. I mean, that's a lot. Might not even be able to cover it entirely in this episode. I think not. But I'm gonna give it a try. Let's see how far we get. Now, when you start out, the first thing you actually need to do, of course, is to make your character. And how you get inspired and how you make a character is really individual. Or that's at least the way I see it. However, there are still a few tricks and advices that are good to have in mind. And if you're an old veteran LARPer, there might be some things here that you could apply to your character, or maybe some things that you haven't thought about on when you're making your next character, or things you might be able to put into the character you're already playing. So what do we need to think about? What I want to play, what I can play, and what I can pull off. The three whats. What, if you want to say that. That's the first thing. What I want to play. I want to play a space pirate. Can I play it? No. It's a medieval fantasy LARP. They do not allow for space pirates to be there. They don't even allow for pirates. So I want to be a rogue instead. So where can I go from there? Let's see, I want to be a dwarf rogue. Can I play that? No, since I'm too tall. But I can play an orc rogue. Can I pull this off? Do I have the costume for an rogue orc? Yeah, I can make that. I can pull it off. I can make the weapons. I can even make the voice, like, give money for orc. And with a little practice, it might even get a lot better. Else, yeah, the orcs have to be painted green, like the Warhammer orcs. Ah, shit. I might be allergic to the paint. So I had to settle for being an elf or a human. I don't want to be an elf, so I'm a human. I'm a human rogue. Now we need to get the meat on the bone, so to speak. We need to create his personality, like habits, behaviors, background story, all that really nice stuff to really create the role, the character. And if you're anything like me, ends up spending more time the character creator than the actual game, you know it's gonna take a while, and you know you can't really resist just diving in. But the trick is actually to limit yourself. Or actually, I found it, the trick is to limit yourself when it comes to this. Because in the end you're gonna put up some expectations that you can't really fill, or you're gonna be limited by the way that you have built the character. Let's get to it. Or, you know what, first, a thing I like to do, that some people might do as the last thing, is actually to give the character a name. See, it's a human rogue. You know what, let's take a character I already have, so we can sort of look at him. Let's take Tobias Kettle. He's a human rogue. Giving the character a name also, again, helps creating a personality, helps developing it, and for me it makes it more personal, and it's kind of making it my small baby, my small character baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Onward to behaviors and habits. This is where a lot of veteran players get it wrong. A lot of players go out there now, don't put any thoughts into how the character acts, how he or she reacts to anything. Background story, nada. It's more like we want to be efficient. It's not about the roleplay. It's not about having fun. It's not about bringing something to the game. That is what this is. When you create a character and you create the behaviors and habits, you create role play. It's individual how you do it. My fiance, for example, she found out that something that works for her is to create a background story. So sort of have a reason to why she reacts the way she does. Personally, I found that background stories can actually be quite limiting to my character or the way I play them. I found that it's better to have sort of like an idea of where the background is. That's Tobias Kettle. His background story is he's just grown up with a family in an inn. No fancy hanky-panky revenge scheme or anything. He's the protagonist of his own story. He's a person. That's actually what I want to say. Create persons. Reason for me not creating a more elaborate background story is because I like to work with behaviors instead. Behaviors and habits. Because I think they add much more to the game. Background story is a good thing to have if you want to have something to fall back upon, maybe talk upon, or if you're not that strong, don't feel that strong as an actor. Me, it's too much to remember for me. So I often find it's much more fun just to rely on actions, behaviors. How does he behave? For instance, Tobias. He has a drinking problem, really bad nerves, so he drinks when he gets nervous, when he gets excited, when he gets pretty much any time. And he's not a bad person, he just sort of have ended up there, if you know what I mean. Those things create the character. This is what Tobias is. He's one big chunk of one big pile of... yeah. When I go out, play the character of Tobias, take a sip from the flask. When he gets nervous, I create an atmosphere. That atmosphere creates immersion. And immersion creates role play. By having, you have a character. You create role play by acting as the character. So the essence of the character is the behaviors and habits. At least that's what I think. I think that the behaviors and habits is what the character is. All those small funny things, that's like, what can you add to this world? What can you add to this character to make him more like a person? What can you add to make him more his own? So where am I going with this? Characters are persons. They have personalities. They have habits and behaviors. That is what you need to remember. When you act as your character, as your role, when you interact with other characters, you create an identity for your role when you interact. And they automatically create an identity through the interaction with you, thereby creating more atmosphere and getting more immersed into the role play. And this is what we want. So remember, it's through interaction as your character with others that you create your own character and they create theirs, and you create the atmosphere, and through the atmosphere people get immersed into roleplay and thereby creating a bigger experience, a larger... Create roleplay. God damn it! I don't need to explain it. You create LARP. You create a story. Just remember, it's persons you're creating. The character you have an identity. Has a personality. And that's my point. It's not about the skills, it's not about the costumes, it's about how you play the goddamn role. It's about how the character interact with other people. That you can of course be much more specific on how you create your character, but this is what I think is the essence of creating a character. The personality. That is what I think is the essence of creating a character. I hope you get my point here. If not, then comments. Lots of comments. So go out there and try and make your protagonist. Make a personality of a character. Give him some weird habits. That creates funny moments. It creates memorable moments. Maybe he limps on one leg. Maybe he has one eye. Maybe he sneezes, picks his nose in public, scratches his ass, spits. Do like this each time he thinks. So get out there. Do it.